This is the 9th video in a series of 10 videos about database fundamentals. And in this video we're going to take a look at the multivalued attribute. So this particular video is actually the last in a subset of videos within the Fundamentals series that deals specifically with physical design, and the previous videos have shown how you can implement relationships such as what we see listed here: binary one-to-many, unary one-to-many, binary one-to-one, and binary or unary many-to-many. The steps for actually building the tables in a database, in a DBMS, are in other series of videos that follow this database fundamentals. So looking at the multi-valued attribute, what we have here is the data model for an entity called person, and we have pers ID designated as the primary key. Now we also have the attribute first name and last name, and pers phone, which is in curly braces, and that indicates that this particular attribute is multivalued, in that it's possible that each entity instance, a particular person like Sylvia Wilson, could have more than one phone number. So the entity on the left depicts a multivalued attribute, so we have here pers phone. The physical data model is going to show how the database would actually be constructed, so we would push a multivalued attribute out into a separate table. So the primary key from the parent entity sometimes becomes part of the primary key in the child entity. That means we could take pers ID and have it become part of the primary key over in the phone table. So we might concatenate pers ID with phone type. If the primary key from the parent entity becomes part of the primary key of the child entity, this is referred to as an identifying relationship. However, it's not necessary or required that the primary key from the parent entity be part of the primary key for the child entity. So here we have the example of going from the logical entity to the physical design, pushing the multivalued attribute out into its own table, and then an example of the actual tables in the database. So we have our persons table and our phones table, and we can see that Kevin Roberts, pers ID 1016, which we can trace over to the phones table and see that Kevin has two phone numbers, one for cell and one for home. So we've seen how you can implement a multivalued attribute when we go from logical to physical data modeling and then finally to the actual database.